What's going on, everybody? It's your host, the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder Podcast. Let's get it. Hope you're doing well. Now, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about during this week, but it was kind of like I was finding myself caught up in a loop, right? Like a loop of being repetitive with uh, the latest topics within the Hex ecosystem, and I didn't want to do that, so I didn't want to continue to drop videos and content just repeating myself with it just sometimes, like, why be redundant? I prefer to pace myself. But what I've come to realize, like, for real, seriously, sometimes you just got to take a step back. You got to take a step back and watch. Try to be a person who's just observing what you're doing. Like, take a step back outside of yourself. Take a breather. Take a pause. Walk away from the computer and the crypto for a little bit. If you know what you're doing, if you're not trading and you know what you're doing, believe it or not, you can walk away from your crypto if you know what you're doing. And it's going to be okay. It's not going to be the worst. Like, you're not going to, unless you're trading incessantly, pressing keys, leverage trading, just stressing yourself to death, you could just kind of chill and enjoy life. Zoom out, breathe. I realize that, I don't like to say everyone wants something or everyone doesn't want something, but one thing I'm going to say, and it's true, I'm not a financial expert. I'm a student of life, meaning I'm always learning. I never stop learning, right? I never stop learning. So I'm not here to create information and content to convince you to buy into my opinions and my ideas and my thoughts, because that's not what I do this for, right? It's not what I do this for. Ever since I started making videos on YouTube years ago, and specifically with crypto, there's so much responsibility that comes with creating content that you can't take for granted. There's a lot of responsibility because you don't know who's going to listen to what you have to say. It's not about how big your channel is. It's not about how much how much attention you can garner, or how many views and how many likes and who's sharing. It's not all about that. You get caught in that whole algorithm operation mentality matrix. You become that. If you affect one person, you've done your job. But we've become so accustomed to thousands and millions and multi-millions of views. If you're not, getting the attention from a mass of people, then you're doing nothing. No, that's not the case. That is not the case. In fact, if you are being heard by more people, you should be a little bit more aware of what you're talking about. You should consider yourself even more responsible for what you deliver, and what you create, and what you produce, and what you speak about to the world. You know, I don't have I'm not an expert in figuring these things out as far as crypto. I just try to learn from my human mistakes. and keep it moving by sharing. You know what I'm saying? I see crypto as a way to make money in ways that no other asset known to man can provide. I mean, the data's there. No matter how much you might hate on Bitcoin, Bitcoin is something that no other asset known to that we know of has done. No other asset class. It's crypto. This is what we do. This is what we're here for. Those of you who are new, who find this is what this is about. And it's not for everybody. No matter how much people try to believe and make you believe that crypto's for everybody, it technically it is, but everyone can't deal with it. Everyone can't handle responsibility, much less being a content creator. Everyone can't handle owning their own keys, taking care of their own money. But that's a story for a different day. You know, how do you learn how to pick something that's undervalued, that you know is a gem? How do you identify something that's undervalued? Do you listen to someone tell you that it's undervalued? Or do you go by your own efforts, your own work, your own research to understand what it is that you're trying to do and say, "Oh, okay, let me take a chance with this. Let me take a chance with that." That's what matters. That's what matters in my opinion. Because at least you know when you do that type of work, when it's your effort that you put forth, however the outcome comes, it's on you. Like you should, you're A1 either way. Either way. Either way. There's a certain level of control and peace that you reclaim when you move away from these Telegram groups. You leave Twitter alone. You leave, the YouTube, the social media. You know, if it's something like when you're talking about managing your time, this is what you have to incorporate if you want to be able to keep something, like abreast. Because you have to if you are in it to win it, you have to kind of like remain attuned to what's going on in crypto, or you will be left behind. This space moves too rapid to just walk away for a month and think you could just hop back in and nothing happens. You miss a month, you miss 6 months, you miss practically a year. If you miss 30 days in crypto, you miss a lifetime. Like, no exaggeration, it's crazy like that. But you have to have a balance. You have to, it can't be every day you glued in. It brings depression and misery. You understand? Like, it's crazy. And I'm talking about things that I know from experience because I've been in this space for years, and I know I've gone through all kinds of motions dealing with this space, right? Being on the devices all day, all night, for days at a time, weeks at a time, stressed out for what? For what? Like, now I haven't been stressed out since, well, I would say for like the past I would say 2 to 3 years, I haven't been stressed in crypto because I'm not a trader. I don't trade, you know, and so there's no need for me to just get caught up in this, can't sleep. You gotta, you outside living your life, then you find out something's happening. You have to run to your device because you're gonna miss a trade. You're gonna miss opportunity to make whatever, or to lose big, win big. Like, I can't live like that. So, because I understand what I'm doing and what my plan is may not be good for you, because this is a dangerous game. Like, I've been talking about Hex and all this other stuff, but just know that it's really risky. It's all risky. It's all risky. Like, as recent as, like, these last few videos I put out, I was talking about, Hedron and Icosa. But you shouldn't even deal with Hedron and Icosa if you're not dealing with Hex. If you don't have Hex staking, then What are we talking about? Because the price of hex, affects the performance of hedron and icosa. The price of hex, and the T-share rate of hex directly affects the performance of hedron and icosa. So you cannot have one without the other. You can try to play that game, but hey, I'm telling you what it is. You could try to play that game and just say, oh yeah, I'm just going to deal with hedron and icosa. But if it wasn't for hex, hedron and icosa wouldn't be a thing today. And it's all risky. It's all dangerous. Like when I say dangerous, not as in like, there's a danger that you could lose everything. Danger in like, safety. But depends on how you look at it. Perspective. There's a danger that you could lose all your money. If you don't know what you're doing. I'm not trying to be slick to you and trying to convince you anything. You see, I've never put any type of, right? Like referral links or anything of that nature. Because I'm not about that. I feel funny doing that. I've never been a good salesperson. Like, I'm not here for sales and doing sales. Some people are gifted. And that's what they do by nature. You could tell. That's their calling. They could sell water to a well. Right? They could sell oxygen to plants, to trees. Like, they could, if they could, monetize air, they would. Because that's what they do. But that's not me. That's not why I create content. And then especially with crypto. Crypto is exciting to me. It's exciting. Like I've never felt I would find some type of financial instrument, because that's what this is, that would grab so much of my attention. I've always been glued to, ways to make money, different ways to make money outside of just slaving and working your body till you break your body down till you can't even live no more after 40, 50 years. I've always had an interest in learning how to have multiple streams of income for as long as I can remember. But I've never been as excited about creating those multiple passive streams of income, having assets that make money for you while you sleep. I've never been more excited than with crypto. With anything else. I've never been more excited with anything else than with crypto. Seriously. Real talk. Real talk. In my normal life, I try to have conversations with people, but my style of conversations have changed. Whether you want to call it onboarding, networking, whatever, it's just changed as far as people. And these are weird times right now. Weird times. People are not too excited about what I talk about when I'm speaking to them about cryptocurrencies and hex, because they see the 95% price reductions, and that doesn't move them. Unfortunately, people don't get excited until everything starts going up and to the right. It's when the bull markets are raging. That's when people are jumping. They want to talk. Everybody talking about something. Everybody who didn't care about crypto starts caring about crypto. When everything is all expensive and everything, but in the reverse, when they say buy the dip, when everything is low, when good products are low or cheap or at a discount, people they don't care. So I leave them be, because who am I to judge? I was once ignorant to all of this too. So what's the point? I'm just saying this to say, like, this is weird. Like, it's weird, but also exciting. There's things that are moving, the things that are happening right now, man. There's things that are happening. You got to position yourself in a certain way to win, because the odds are always against us, mounting against us. And what I mean by odds, I'm talking about the financial juggernauts of the world are exercising and wielding their power against us. Their powers against us, and they're trying to to stretch their tentacles into crypto, and they're doing a great job at it to keep us from utilizing the crypto as we see fit, the way it was designed to be. They want to prevent that. They want to take that away from us. They want to keep us from doing it. In other words, censor us with OFAC. Do the research. Everything is not all about, criticizing people for, the way they do things and things like that, because there's a bigger problem that's affecting the entire space, not just one community. The entire space is getting directly and indirectly impacted by the rules and regulations that are being made, and they're not for our behalf. They're not being made to our benefit. They're being made to take away everything we've had up to this point. I don't care how successful you find yourself in crypto right now. Okay? There are powers that be that are working incessantly, working hard to shut it down, even though we know, in essence, they really can't shut it down, but they're going to scare the crap out of us. They're going to inflict a real fear, uncertainty, and doubt into us. Like they're very skilled at it. They're very skilled in manipulating, in brainwashing, in intimidating, and forcing us to have nothing and be happy. But we got to fight against that. I'm always hopeful for the best. I always, I'm a man of a certain age, and I believe in a higher power. And I walk with my belief. I live in my truth. And I'm always hopeful for the best in everything. And I know things are going to work out. But at the same time, it's going to be an arduous road. Look at what we have to go through just to receive things that we feel like we deserve. We got to go through the bumps in the road. We got to go through the challenges. We got to go through ups and downs. But then when we reach our goal, it's that much sweeter. Because it was so hard for us to reach those endpoints in our lives. Right? And those endpoints become beginning points onwards to something else greater that we have to achieve, if we choose to. And this is the reason why I create content and I do what I do. Not to win favors or it's not a popularity contest for me. It's just the right thing to do. And I find it enjoyable, and it's really fun. Like, I don't do this to as a job. I do this because it's an outlet. It's fun. I get to interact with people when I go live. I enjoy all the viewers, all the the interaction I get, all the support. It's a beautiful thing. And that's what needs, and it's that energy that fuels me to continue to do what I do. Because I try to move in a certain way where what I'm talking about has a purpose. Like, I don't move haphazardly, right? I think before I speak, right? This is what I was trained to do from a young person, because I was around solid human beings in my life. I was fortunate to be around solid human beings in my life, and even some people who weren't so savory, who had the wherewithal to at least teach me what value was about, what integrity was about, what honor was about, what becoming a man was about. Right? How to offer fellowship, and how to say when enough is enough. How to defend, how to protect, how to care, how to teach, how to learn to listen, how to be humble and respectful, and how to not take any crap or nonsense from a damn soul. All at the same time. And it's a work in progress. And at the same time, we're here to live the best lives that we can while we have the moment, while we have the opportunity and the chance to. You understand? So that's all I had to say with this episode. Check this out, man. My next episode, I'm going to be talking, we coming closer to November 13th. November 13th, what is that? It's going to be the liquidations, the auctions coming up for the Hedron ecosystem, baby. For real, for real. This is going to be crazy. Y'all can't sleep, yo. Let me tell you. If you're in Hex and you're staking your coins, you're earning Hedron daily, daily, daily off the rip, regardless if you like it or not. I don't care about any of that. Has nothing to do with whether you like the coin or not. And on top of that, you have ICOSA. ICOSA, another contract that's attached to the system that is just like jet fuel to the whole ecosystem. And the positive feedback loop is tremendous. You just if you're interested, learn. The information is out there, people. It's out there. It is out there. And it's the closer we get to these auctions that's coming up in November 13th, I'm telling you, you're going to have to watch those charts. Look at those charts. Look at the price charts, the pairs, Hex and ICOSA, ICOSA and Hex, Hedron and Hex, Hedron and ICOSA. Those things right there is going to be fantastic. And we still in the bear market. I like the increase that, Hex has done, but it is what it is. We one day closer to all these great things. But let's try to keep things, flowing in a good way without embracing the craziness that's taking place out here, man. For real, for real. For real, for real. And again, this is why I say it's dangerous and it's all risky. Remember, those of you who had Ethereum, those of you who had ERC20 tokens, those of you who were staking Hex, those of you who had all those ERC20s, they got copied on 2 other chains, people. And those chains are rocking and rolling even now. And I hope they work out for everybody in the end. I hope they don't scam. I hope there's no chain rollbacks. I hope there's no inflation bugs. I hope there's no efferia. No foolishness. This is what we got. Be safe out there. Take care.